Hello, dear learners. Welcome to another class on ELT. And today our topic is Suggestopedia. So, Suggestopedia was, a term that was quite prominent in the 1970s due to Georgy Lazarov, who is a Bulgarian educator, who was a physicianist, who was a psychotherapist, brain physiologist. He was also a psychiatrist. So we see that he developed this methodology, which was a combination of pedagogy, psychology, and it also included artistic approaches. And this method, Suggestopedia, is also called as the Suggestopedia, and it is also termed as the humanistic approach is the strangest of the so-called humanistic approaches because it incorporates two very important terms. One is suggestion and the other is pedagogy. So we see an interplay of suggestion that how it can be used as a pedagogy, and we also see that with the help of psychological approach, how the learner over here is the center of the method and how his attitude is important, whereas his aptitude is not quite so important. Maybe it takes a back foot, but an attitude change in the learner, is suggested as a way in which learning can be enhanced. And we see that Lazarov has brought out this in his method, Suggestopedia. So over here, according to the method, memorization in learning through Suggestopedia would be accelerated by up to 25 times over that in conventional learning methods. So this is the claim of the people who propounded Suggestopedia, that is, memorization in learning, is memorization, memory is enhanced 25 times when you use Suggestopedia methodology, because over here the power of suggestion is given, especially the power of suggesting positive things, positive suggestions, how it helps the learner have a positive attitude and makes the learner more receptive. At the same time, it also stimulates the learning capability of the learner, and so which goes on to enhance the learning experience. And according to Lazarov, he describes suggestology as a science concerned with the systematic study of the non-rational and non-conscious influences that human beings are constantly responding to. So we see that, unknowingly as learners, we constantly keep being disturbed by our environment, especially, suppose you are seated in maybe the library and you're trying to concentrate and learn, but there's some noise that is emitted, some maybe construction noise that you are hearing, and that construction noise may affect your capability of learning, your memory capability also. And according to Suggestopedia, when tend to give positive suggestions to the learner, then his attitude changes and he thinks that even these external impediments are not going to stop him from learning. So that is the methodology that Suggestopedia utilizes. And moving on, it is also believed that accelerated learning can take place when it's accompanied by desuggestion of psychological barriers and positive suggestions. Just like the example that I gave a few seconds back, we see that when positive suggestions are given, all the psychological barriers, for example, you might be going through some emotional turmoil, and at the same time, when you hear your teacher, no, come on, you can do it, this is easy, quite simple, this is a concept that's quite simple for you to understand, and even I would say that Suggestopedia is a very simple concept, it's a very simple methodology, it's easy for everyone to grasp and understand. So when I give this positive vibe, positive information, automatically you as a learner, even if you're in the baddest of moods, you will be able to overcome your psychological barrier, and I hope you get interested. So this is how Suggestopedia works. So to move on to the components of Suggestopedia, so there's a use of dialogues, situations, and translation to present, and also practice language is also emphasized. And one more aspect is the use of aids like music, visual images, and relaxation exercises, so that learning is more comfortable, it's more creative, it's more effective, and the learner is very happy at what he's doing, and learning is not a tedious task, rather it's a relaxing exercise. So this is something about the components of such. So moving on to the features of the method, so we see it's thoroughly teacher-centric, and the focus is on the target language rather than on the mother tongue. Mother tongue is used, but it's a very minimal usage of mother tongue. And like I said, it's a teacher-centered method. It is directed by the teacher, how the teacher presents the material, what the teacher suggests. So it's fully on the teacher's responsibility. And we also see when you have to see the ambience of the class, it's bright, you have a cheerful classroom with comfortable chairs. And also soothing music is something which is part of this method. Like I said, de-relaxation, de-stressing oneself through exercises, all that happens. And so music is used as an aid, and positive suggestions and negative de-suggestion is given by the teacher. So positive suggestions like, come on, you can do it, wow, you are getting there, you are getting better at it. So these are some of the positive comments that the teacher gives, and negative de-suggestions like, I think what you're doing is not, it was incorrect, and this is how you could do it. You may do it, and I'm sure you will be able to overcome this difficulty, and you will be able to do it perfectly well next time. So some positive and negative suggestion is also given by the teacher. And new identities for learners with target language names and new occupations are given. So in a task this is carried out where the learner picks names and he takes up roles. Like I was saying, it's dialogues are a part of the classroom activities. So in those activities, the learner takes up an imaginary name, maybe a character whose dialogue he's about to read out, and becomes like role play. He takes up that character. And printed dialogues are given with mother tongue translations. Like I said, minimal use of mother tongue. And we also see that vocabulary is given importance as much as grammar notes are also given. And moving further, we see that it begins with the teacher reading out the dialogues, and the learners listen to the intonation pattern, the rhythm that the teacher uses, and it is usually matched with the background music. And further, then the reading of the dialogue is done by the learners, and just before they sleep and then on their rising, they do their homework. And classroom activities, like I mentioned before, it's based on dialogues. Question and answers are also part of it, along with games and songs. So Suggestopedia is really a very interesting method. I think you cannot limit it to any age group. Every age group would love this Suggestopedia methodology because learners are constantly, they go through a lot when they are learning. Some are unseen barriers, some are seen barriers. So this method would definitely help learners. I hope you were also able to grasp a little bit about the topic Suggestopedia, and I believe that it is a needed method in our time and age. Thank you.